Chat, here we go. It's Atow versus Mawkzy in a $200 best of 7 courtesy of Epic Games. Shout out Epic Games and the Hatsune Miku limited time event that's going on right now. You'll see these guys rocking some Hatsune Miku items, and Atow actually almost had a nasty goal to start us off. But ultimately, oh, there it is. He will get it. Mawkzy made the first and out, couldn't make the second as he chipped this one high. Interesting decision to land backwards the way he did. If he had landed towards the back wall and prioritized getting to the ball ASAP, might have been able to get that clear. Atow has been looking solid in ones as he's going to flick past Mawkzy for his second goal. We talked about this when Mawkzy played Shoddy earlier last week. Now he has been apparently focusing on his aerial game. I don't know if he's been focusing on his aerial defense as much, because he's going to definitely have to play some aerial defense, that's for sure. But maybe we'll see a bit more aerial offense. There's one thing that Mawkzy's always been good at, though, through his whole time in 1v1s, and that is a good kickoff. He loves his little wave dash kickoff, and it's going to get him a nice free goal here. Atow played 2 matches last week as well, I believe it was. Maybe a little bit longer. He played against Rawas and Nupo. I would highly recommend going to check out those games if you haven't already. And because I'm about to spoil their results in the next 5 seconds. But Atow able to 3-0 sweep Rawas before going to Game 5 against Mr. Nupo. But Nupo did get that win. Now we'll see against Mawkzy. The thing about Mawkzy is he's kind of his own entity. It almost feels like a tier list slightly of 1v1ers, and they stack up pretty well linearly. This guy beats this guy means they're probably just better. Mawkzy can get weird matchups against certain players. You know, you can have a really tough time beating Mawkzy when maybe it's a lot easier for you to beat everyone else in the ones game, or the inverse. Sometimes, you know, Mawkzy's playstyle might just be weak to a certain player. See how it goes today against Mr. Atow, who is tied 2-2 right now as he pops this one to the back wall, staring at Mawkzy. Atow also coming off of an insane 2 regionals. KC is no stranger to starting off extremely hot in RLCS seasons, but is this the hottest they've ever started? I remember thinking before the... what was that? Where was that EU major? Copenhagen? Before Copenhagen? That KC were looking insane. You guys remember it? That all the predictions were all KC. Everyone was picking their champion of all the talent, and it was like the whole entire board was just KC, and then T-Bates had G2. And it was like, okay, it's almost going to be boring if KC end up winning. So clearly, KC were looking solid coming into the first major of last year. But man, I feel like they look even better right now. I just can't believe how good they've looked in this past couple regionals. Mawkzy, nice use of the reset shot. Last season, they went 3 of 3 on regionals. I mean, they still could. And by all means, you'd have to predict they're going to go 3 of 3. KC, I mean, they had a close match against Vitality in a seeding round. But then they didn't play Vitality again, and they just smoked everybody else. Mawkzy now up 5-2. He is constantly grinding his 1v1 at all times. If you're tuning into these guys for the first time, Mawkzy will probably be in the RLCS. He'll probably be on the mainstream, if I had to guess, for the first time in his career coming in a few months. When RLCS hops into the world of 1v1, I have to expect Mawkzy's going to make, you know, even if they only do top 8, I would expect him to be at top 8. As he's going to get a nice reset shot for 6-2. Mawkzy is cooking right now. Atow, not the guy to get outplayed in the air very often. But Mawkzy seems to have the recipe right now. Remember that you can't call him Milksy on the mainstream. You guys know that that's just you guys, right? You are the only ones that do that. So that's going to be no problem for me at all. Ooh, look at this play from Mawkzy as he cuts around the ball to make it 7-2. Yeah, I can tell Atow was typing next. Look at this. Atow grabs the 100. Mawkzy just sneaks in front of him and says, I'll take my goal while you do that. And he will make it a 1-0 lead for the Mach. This video is sponsored by Epic Games and their Hatsune Miku collab that is going on right now in Rocket League. If you guys log in, there's a limited time event where you're going to see some challenges in order to get some items, as well as some stuff in the item shop. I went ahead and took some of these items for a little test run over in ranked 1v1, and it was so simple to get a win. First thing I did is I just got a quick win. Oh, okay. Maybe, what I meant to say is I got a quick win. Okay, you know me. I bounce back. I got a quick win. As I was saying, I got a quick win. All I had to do was get this guy who basically wanted the freestyle to forfeit early, and I got a win in the Hatsune Miku items. That could be you if you log into Rocket League and check it out today. Game number 2. It was looking close. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this emote you want. We'll have to talk about it later. Mawkzy on a soft, basically failed flick. He's going to get his shot saved. Atow, long shot for a first. Atow having to use his dash to recover back. Maybe Atow expected a certain playstyle out of Mawkzy at the start of the series. A much safer playstyle. Mawkzy, taking the ball to the ground whenever he can, even when he goes to the air. But clearly, Mawkzy, wow, what a save from Atow, has been more willing to use those resets in the air. Try and cook past some defenses. He's always had that ability. He's just never felt that he needed to focus on using it as much. He used it purely as a counter. Purely as a way to say, look, I can still hit these. You have to pretend like I can. But for the most part, I'm going to play my ground game the most I can. Play my bump game the most I can. But I think his recent stint in Salt Mine 4 is what opened his eyes to, I can't just use it as an accent to my game. I'm going to have to make it really, really strong part of it if I want to get tournament wins. Atow just barely off target on his shot, crossbar down. Mawkzy is not able to get any boost, but he does get to the ball. Now he will die, and Atow will have no trouble scoring this goal. You have a really good voice. First time chatter, and he's a sub. Oh no, he's not a sub. That's just a pink bubble for having predicted Mawkzy to win. But we'll pretend he's a sub. Mawkzy backing off. You could tell he wanted to get that save as late as possible. Probably not even jump, but did recognize he's going to have to pop up for it. Can Mawkzy turn this into a goal? He's not going to try to. I wanted to see him try just to see how much he's been working on that aerial game. And hey, in retrospect, maybe it'd have been worth a shot considering he got scored on immediately anyways. It would have had to be like a pogo shot somehow back towards the net. I mean, it was going to be tough. But certainly it would have been better than what happened, which is just landing down the ground and letting Atow score a goal. Mawkzy losing that dribble off the top of his car. Had to stay at top speed. Looked for one of those booming flicks you can get whenever you have that dribble set up. And didn't quite get one. Air dribble from Atow, going to drop it to the ground. As he gets the resets almost near the ceiling, Mawkzy jumps, and it looked like he tried maybe slightly to keep himself low enough, but still Atow able to sneak it underneath. Kickoff loss for Atow, but going to be able to turn it around quickly. Mawkzy with the boost steal. Not sure really who has the advantage here just yet, as Atow tries to get a nutty angle. Another boost steal. Demo. Oh, wait. I thought it was going to be Atow demoing Mawkzy, and I'm sure he probably felt the same way. But instead, It's Mawkzy getting himself a clean possession. He actually ends up rolling the ball directly at the spot that Atow respawns in. Now pushed to the back wall. Mawkzy. Flick. Can he get back up to get to this one? Not enough to make a scoring chance out of it. Atow rushing back the other way. Needs a double to finish it. But Mawkzy does recover. Seems like he had just passed Mawkzy the ball, but I guess relying on the fact that he has very little boots to get away with it. Ceiling reset. Mawkzy dunk. Can he get back to this one? He will. The double jump to keep it underneath the crossbar. And put himself within 2. Ultra delay kickoff from Mr. Atow. Definitely a signature of his play. Saw Jack drop in a pretty heavy delay in his game as well. Which I feel like is not necessarily something I've seen from him as much, but Atow will almost use the delay kickoff as one of his main attacks. Atow loves himself some demos. So does Mawkzy, but it seems like Atow's demo game has been connecting a little bit more. Just always aware of it. At every moment, he seems to recognize every situation in which he can use a demo to convert a goal. Atow stealing the corner boost and then waiting to see what kind of touch Mawkzy gets before heading back to his own half. Nice use of the flip to get the save. Very little boost left over. Can he pre-flip out to this one? No. So Mawkzy able to starve Atow out. And Atow maybe could have survived if he could have gotten a better clear somehow, despite not picking up his own boost. Kickoff win for Mawkzy. 40 seconds left to go. Nice flick. When you're close to the net, you don't really have time to collect this ball and launch a flick any later than when Mawkzy did. So first touch and just immediately popping it as soon as he gains control. It's just enough to be able to get it over the top of Atow while still not sailing it too high. There's a delay kickoff to ice out the game potentially. 40 seconds left to go. The Atow double. He does like to go for this in ones. You'll see very few players willing to take that risk. Normally, sending the ball to the back wall can result in it getting completely stolen away. The way you have to do it is you have to set up that double far away from the net so that the challenger cannot get to it and then find a way to get it in. And Atow that time sent it too far away. But he did ultimately hold on to possession, which is what really matters. And he gets Mawkzy flying across the net for a fake. 17 seconds. And we should be seeing Atow tie up this series, but I guess you never know. Mawkzy wants that wave dash recovery bump. He's trying to chip Atow out of the way. Atow does dodge that, but it's still a Mawkzy possession that Atow pre-jumps in the air, defends it, and I believe equalizes. Might get a 7th goal, but no, it hits ground early. Heading into game 3, all tied up. Game number 3. Atow and Mawkzy. Husky, thank you for the 2 months of Prime. Don't know why you're dropping cringe. But I'm going to assume it's because you're cringing at something other than me. Probably safe to assume. Mawkzy. Double jump bump. Atow survives it, but does not get the save. Mawkzy off the ceiling, saw Atow looking to challenge. Tried to maybe adjust his adjust his play. Get the ball out, down in front of him. Didn't work out. Atow got the interception. Now a bit of a mistake from Mawkzy. He saved his flip. Turned it into a dash for a chance to recover and stay involved, but the mistake had already happened. Todd Chungo, they were the 35 months. Hatsune Miku in Rocket League. Wow, that's epic, comma, partner. Yes. Yes, it is. Mawkzy. By the time he controlled the ball, Atow had already closed the distance, so he knew he was getting challenged. Nice pinch away. Mawkzy hoping for a demo here or a boost steal. Doesn't get either, but is not going to leave. 11 boost. Ball high on top of his card. Gets it dunked off over the top. And Atow's going to have a strong flick here as that ball falling off the front. You could tell when someone's about to launch it or really have no choice but to launch it. Atow, if he didn't get that ball going soon, it was just going to roll off. But having it roll off as you set that up usually results in a lot more power. Zethin! Thank you for the 5-month tier 1. Great to have you back. Atow just going to dunk this immediately. 4-1 in his favor. Mawkzy thought he was getting something going, but was cooking absolutely nothing as he sends it straight into Mr. Atow. Atow now going to force Mawkzy back into the net on 0 boost. Has an air dribble. Probably just going to go top shelf, yeah. I think based on where Mawkzy is positioning, Atow starts this dribble probably with a lot of different ideas in mind, but as soon as Mawkzy goes all the way out for this one more boost pad that he actually doesn't even end up getting, then Atow knows, okay, I can just carry this straight in. If I keep it high, the chances that Mawkzy makes it back quite slim. Great shot from Mawkzy, perfectly placed to try and capitalize on a kickoff, and yet Atow squeezes the save and in and out recovers to immediately be back on the ball. Atow to ceiling heights. Has to get underneath the ball if he wants to make a real threat. You can't really fall from over top of it and scare defenders much. They couldn't really get down underneath it before it already hit the ground. Mawkzy, a reset possession here. It'll take him a little bit of time, but he has time to bring back these 4 goals. He just has to be clinical. This air dribble, though, leaves a lot to be desired. Really nothing to come of it. And his possession ends. Undercutting for a bump attempt. Atow says, I am well aware of when the bumps are coming and when to dish them out. If anybody knows, it's me. Misplay from Atow, though, on the reverse. He's thinking about a reverse challenge here, and he kills his momentum in a crucial moment. Mawkzy's on 0, and he ends up not being able to come back. The fact that Mawkzy is able to create something out of truly nothing at all is a sign that he does stand a chance here, but it may take a couple missteps from Mr. Atow. Mawkzy going to go over the top of him for a double. Oh, what a recovery from Atow. He got beat at first, but he finds his way back into it. Mawkzy may have been thinking he had an easy follow-up, but Atow gets back to make the save. Now Mawkzy cutting off of the side wall into a carry in the midfield. Now heavy swing around. This is where Mawkzy likes to be in 1v1. He's going to go double jump bump. Atow gets around it. And then Mawkzy snipes his demo. That is when Mawkzy is demoing most. Atow is looking for demos at basically all times. He will clip you at the midfield, maybe get you on defense, maybe get you on offense. Mawkzy's favorite, put a shot on target, and then lock in to the defender and punish with a demo. Mawkzy probably would have liked to have that 100 boost, but felt based on where the ball was that he had to get back. Look at this shot from Atow. If you want to start working on the zap dash, here's why. Atow with a perfect zap dash to pre-flip to get to this ball before Mawkzy can do anything about it. It's that empty jump on the landing to pop his front wheels up and then front flipping right back down to get the dash. Followed up with a pre-flip, and he's got himself a goal when he maybe otherwise wouldn't have. Mawkzy flick top shelf. Within 2. 51 seconds on the board. The lead in the series on the line. I think we're going to see the next kickoff get delayed by Atow if Mawkzy scores. That's my guess here. But it seems like Atow might be scoring as Mawkzy makes the first save. And that was a misplay, so that'll be a goal for Atow. Trying to pre-flip onto the wall. Mawkzy throwing the ball towards the net. That needed to go in. Plus 2 more if he wanted to win game 3. So it seems like Atow going to be taking the lead. Undercutting Mawkzy to make a point here. Mawkzy has a bit to clean up. A couple takes through the air that did not go his way. He says he's been working on it. No better scale to measure against than Mr. Atow as Mawkzy goes down 2-1. So we head to game 4. Basilisk W raid. Game number 4. Atow able to win the kickoff, get to the boost. He beat Mawkzy in the race, and he quickly side flips the ball to launch it out to try and capitalize. Air dribble bump from Mawkzy will be what actually scores first. Mawkzy waiting to see what's going to happen here from the Atow shot. He does get the save. He expected to be able to double jump to it without boost. He was right. Pogo from Mr. Atow. Doesn't quite get around Mawkzy for a goal. Mawkzy trying to rush the counterattack the other way and just uses the power in order to score. And this just feels like maybe a mix-up. I'm not sure we saw Mawkzy counterattacking in this way, but he will do it now. And that is just relying on his speed. He knew that Atow was recovering from a bad place. He's able to get the play going fast enough that Atow can't deal with it. Ooh, Mawkzy did not expect that touch. He's creeping out on low boost, ready to make a move. But Atow's first touch is just out past him. Atow reset on the ceiling. Has decided to just reset this whole play. Not a flip reset, but just backing off to start again. This time, Mawkzy's going to have a bit more boost to deal with. Can Atow get the finish? What a shot and a save! Mawkzy quickly recovers off the side wall. He did fall into the net, which is usually not great for counterattacks. But in this case, Mawkzy keeps his wits about him, quickly dashes out of his net and gets a long shot to counterattack. That is a solid save. It earns him a goal the other way. Mawkzy getting out ahead of Atow in order to steal this corner boost, pick up the midfield as well. Maybe not the best first touch ever, but Atow backing off, going to give him time to set up his ground dribble and flick. I think it's the first we've seen of him going for his classic flick. That could be partially because of Atow or because Mawkzy's trying to intentionally switch up his game. A little bump on Atow. He didn't miss this, right? This is slotted. Bottom left slots on another good defensive play. Atow's aerial game can be really tough to deal with. Mawkzy is showing how you can. Atow Not a wave dash kickoff, but a zap dash after using his flip. Still not going to be enough to make up for the lack of speed. Mawkzy instantly uses his reset. Got Atow to miss, but got the worst bounce he could ask for. One that he could not quickly shoot. Atow able to get back around. Down 3. But a lot of time on the clock for him to bring this back. Atow. Air dribble dunk. And that'll be his second. Mawkzy thought about the wall to ceiling challenge there for a moment and then just recovered late. Huge delay kickoff again from Atow. This time in an attempt to bring the game back. We saw it from him earlier when he was trying to ice the game out from the lead. Now air dribble bump that connects. It's an air dribble demo. He must have just gotten supersonic before connecting with Mawkzy. It didn't quite feel fast enough, but obviously it was, as he holds his boost through. Brings himself back within 1. Both these guys would like to not go for 100 boosts off this kickoff. Atow was trying to collect the ball and punish Mawkzy for grabbing 100, but Mawkzy says, I'm not going to let you, because I'm not going to get 100. I'm just going to stick around the ball with you. Mawkzy, you know, that would have been a real sign of his aerial, comfort if he had tried to find a way to make that one work. Because that one was not easy. Up high in the corner. Most players are going to do what Mawkzy did, especially when a threatened ceiling challenge is there. Atow is up high at the ceiling as well. But certainly the most aerial-focused players do somehow just try and make something happen out of that setup. Mawkzy's not going to do that here, up 1. Can he get a ground pinch? No, Atow able to pre-flip to make the save. Mawkzy staying on the ball, though. Says, I don't need boosts. If you're going to swing that wide, I'm going to be able to double jump and get myself a goal. With just 12. Now a 2-goal lead, minute 7 left to go. Another slight delay for Atow, but it's not going to pay off. Mawkzy has a reset at ceiling heights. Interesting going for that 50 with the nose of his car. Oftentimes people trying to protect it, will look to make a bigger target to bounce that 50 off of. But Mawkzy did get a pretty favorable one, despite making his car as low profile as possible. Mawkzy, wall dash chip on the ball to try and get some speed going, but I think he's going to be forced to play some defense here. Atow, the bounce of the ball killed on his catch. First touch reset, and it's too much. I can't believe the problem ended up being too much power, because it didn't seem like from that slow take that Atow was going to be able to put it top shelf, but he actually ended up overdoing it and needed to kind of pull off slightly if he didn't want to go too high. He's going to call next here in game number 3. Mawkzy going up 2-1. This best of 7. Game 5. I think I previously said it was 2-1 Mawkzy, and I even mentioned game 3. I'm just going senile, unfortunately. 7's in chat for me. But not 7's in chat for Atow, who's in a tied series. 2-2 with the Mach in a best of 7 for $200, courtesy of Epic Games. Shout out Epic and Hatsune Miku limited time events. You see these guys' goal explosions, Atow's wheels, as they're rocking some items from the limited time event. Yo, I'm Snipex6756_RL. Thank you for the 3 months. What's up? Greetings from Germany. Greetings. Great to have you here. As Mawkzy tries to open up the scoring with a bit of cringe, and he got denied on the first, but insists on it in the second. Atow respawns and makes the save. What a spawn. Maybe slightly helped by being able to see where he was going to spawn moments before. Air dribble bump again. Mawkzy says, no, Atow, I insist on being cringe. I will get a bump goal. Atow out of the back corner. Got his reset and fakes it and goes low. Mawkzy gaining some speed there from using the sidewall chain dash, but almost recovers in with too much speed. I mean, by the time he's making his save, he's having to turn back towards the ball because he's out ahead of it. But I think that also has to do with going out to the sidewall to get chain dashes means you're going to have to swing farther back into net and will often result in you needing to stay high speed in order to just get there in the first place. But this is a nice play from Mawkzy. Great read. Able to sneak it in. Wave dash kickoff for Mawkzy. 3-1 for him. Another wave dash kickoff seems to favor Mr. Mawk. As Atow almost looked like he took a brief look at that ball just as a way to kind of convince Mawkzy. Oh, does Mawkzy score off this? Nice recovery. My goodness, Mawkzy. These two guys love to bump. Neither one of them are going to be cringing at each other for bump plays. If there's anybody who's going to have to respect a good physical game, it's going to be Atow. But man, nice snipe from Mawkzy. Caught Atow on the jump, launched him away, and then got around the ball for his 4th goal. And that was even considering a pretty solid recovery from Atow, considering. Used his flip to dash down and try and get back. Chain dashes from Mawkzy. Really not a lot to do with that. Ooh, Atow was trying to get him off the back wall, and it didn't fully work, but it essentially got the same result. He's hoping to fake here, get Mawkzy on 0 boost to try and transition and overshoot the save. And ultimately, that is kind of how it played out. Mawkzy did have to come off the back wall after he realized his setup was mistimed. And then it does get shot behind him in the end. Mawkzy on 0 boost. Probably knew he wasn't scoring there, but just needed to put something on target to reset, give himself a chance to get 100 and get a much better challenge. And this time the challenge will work, as he gets himself a 5th goal. Atow shaking his camera as he's frustrated with the challenge. Mawkzy clips the demo and will slow play this one in. 6-2. And it feels like the majority of it coming off of Mawkzy's demo game. Atow has a great setup here for an aerial. Mawkzy knows it too. He has pre-jumped it. Atow tried to go underneath. Did not succeed. And we'll have to start over again. Another great setup. The pass from Atow. He's going to go into the ceiling too. He's just trying to go maximum speed. It's tough to make that work. Mawkzy is going to miss his wide open net after stealing the ball away. So we'll see if that ends up mattering. Mawkzy up 4 right now. There's a good chance it doesn't, but certainly one he wishes he could have back. Atow just can't seem to find the answer right now against the Mawkzy, who has been really good at frustrating Atow with the physical gameplay. But hey, he has been hitting some air dribble resets as well, and he'll do so right here in order to ice out the game. Atow wants to go next. The side flip shot puts it on target at 103 kilometers per hour and gets himself game number 5. Oh my goodness! Mawkzy has been bumping Atow like crazy. So what does he do? He goes for the genius play, the unbumpable, the absolute perfect protection against any physical gameplay. He goes Batmobile. We've got Atow in a Batmobile for probably the rest of the series if it works out. Either he loses this game and it's over, Or we're going to see the perfect answer. Look at Atow go. Top shelf in the Batmobile. Mawkzy picking up pads as he's shaking, knowing he's going to have to defend against a plank hitbox and try and connect on demos against a plank hitbox. He does get a bump. Is he going to get a bump goal right away? Okay. Atow thought he was a little bit more immune than he really was. Listen, I get it. It's hard to bump the plank, but you can't just walk yourself in front of the Fennec. He's really testing it out. Dashes might be different here as Atow, a rare missed dash in the Batmobile. Not a lot of boost left over. Yeah, those 50s aren't going to go as well as they maybe normally do in a Fennec. I'm thinking this could have a little bit to do with the Batmobile. That low hitbox. You're going to have to get up a little bit earlier for those. Wave dash kickoff. Now, how are Atow's flicks? I don't know how much he's played Batmobile. I'm trying to remember if I've seen him dabble in it at all before. Because obviously there's a few more advantages the Batmobile has. Some really nasty flicks. As Mawkzy's going to fake Atow. He's digging himself a bit of a hole. And I think the Batmobile Gambit is not, you know, the worst play ever. But I think he needed a good start here in order to make himself believe in that. Whereas if he goes down quickly, he might think the Batmobile Gambit was a mistake. I honestly don't mind it. Atow 50 with Mawkzy in his own half. Gonna result in a takeaway across the whole field. Oh, that's a delay kickoff that might work in a different car body. But a plank, he goes delay. And yeah, I mean, that might work in the Fennec. I don't know. But it's not going to work in a Batmobile. It just gets tapped right over the top. Another missed dash. It almost seems like he needs to just give up on the dash kickoff, which he does not seem to be practiced in the Batmobile. Nice save. In and out recovery. Zap dash. And a goal. Can Atow find a sign of life here? As he's able to dodge the bump play. Is that partly because of his new slim hitbox? Still getting bumped here. But staying alive. As he will now back off. Mawkzy taken to the skies. I think going to be forced back down to the ground though. Not the best setup ever. Atow makes a save. Gets the recovery. Gets bumped again, but has to feel good in his Batmobile. That air dribble gets red. I can't tell if he's like reacting to the defense or if he's just like, I can't do this in this car. Like, did I lose the dribble just because you're not used to dribbling with the Batmobile? Or you're trying to react to Mawkzy's pre-jump? Huge delay kickoff. Atow going to try a long shot. I think he missed. No, he did. He got it. 5-4. Creeping his way back. Mawkzy gonna roll this one way. Up to the skies. Atow up over the top of it. And what a clean catch. Who knows whether or not this catch works if you're not on the Batmobile. Gets out underneath it. Smooth into a flick. 5-5. Delay wave dash kickoff for Atow. Who backs up into his corner. Mawkzy delayed flick. Gets saved. 47 boost still for Atow. He's going to let Mawkzy launch a shot to the other side of the net. He's correct in his read that he's going to be able to get there, and then gets around another Mawkzy bump. Mawkzy going to try again. We're watching from defensive Batmobile POV. That time, the shot nowhere near being threatening, and then Atow was the one who wanted the demo. He didn't necessarily have to go for this. You know, if he decides not to go for this, he has to just keep playing defense. Might be able to survive. But he thought he had his chance. Heavy delay again. Atow in a different car. Gets that counterattack. Mawkzy didn't even steal the boost. He went all the way to the corner and didn't even get it. He came back with 0. I bet Atow didn't even assume that he had 0. We get to see, of course. But why would Mawkzy go all the way over there and not get the boost? Atow's gone heavy delay a few times in a row, and it doesn't seem like Mawkzy has caught on or adjusted what he's doing at all. Atow forced into a shadow. Mawkzy goes an early flick. Atow saves it on the back wall, and being a Batmobile doesn't protect him this time, as he does get demoed. Mawkzy, that's a great shot. Mawkzy knows how to get the ball top left, and you give him a second, and he'll go back to his old ways. Atow left that available. Slotted. Atow gonna have to back off. Mawkzy's gonna go quick shot, but missed big time. Now wants to connect on a demo. Isn't able to. Atow again with this really tight angle cut that's just not going to work very often. Mawkzy ceiling reset. Fakes! Goes too high and fortunately gets some crossbar. It bounces back into his control. It's been a good... I mean, I don't know. Whether or not it's a good mix-up, debatable. But it has not been a terrible mix-up for Atow. He's been able to keep this one close. But he's going to need a bit of magic here with 46 seconds left to go to get a win in the Batmobile. Atow into the opposite corner. Has a reset. Mawkzy refuses to react. Atow continues to try and fake, and then he just low 50s it in. This is such immense patience from Atow. He just refuses to actually make a play until Mawkzy has officially vacated the net, and then finally he's decided he's high enough, and he goes underneath him. Delay kickout from Atow. Mawkzy and Atow both going to stay on the ball. Atow should get a possession here with 15 seconds left to go. He's going to try and play it straight. He flicks it over the top. He does not go to any boost at all. He's staring Mawkzy down in the reverse cam as he ties it up. This is a pretty darn decent mix-up. I mean, I think everybody's expecting Atow to either go sidewall boost or back corner boost, set up an attack. Instead, he just stays on 0, and you see Mawkzy recognizing it just a little bit too late as he was prepping to head over to those side boosts and not able to get back in the way. 4 seconds left to go, though. Great catch from Mawkzy. This ball's floating and hitting the ground just outside the net. OT in game number 6. Atow trying to force game 7 with the Batmobile. He's been delaying so much. He's going to do it again, and Mawkzy again doesn't read it. I can't believe it. Mawkzy is giving him the ball every single time on these delays. What a catch. That's glue on the Batmobile. Into an air dribble from Atow. Tries to go top corner. Mawkzy makes the save. Atow with very little boost. He's going to have to back off. Mawkzy now a full field possession on the ground. Is he going to go back to his classic? He does. Top left. Denied. Atow able to send it away. Gets just enough of a clip, but it's not going to matter. He's left. Wait. He's gone. He respawns. I was like, where did he go? Almost from Atow. GG's. Thanks for playing. Shout out Atow and Mawkzy for giving us a show. Mawkzy will take it in 7. I thought Atow had a chance. I thought Atow had a chance even without the respawn.